definitely want more of those for sure. I love that feeling.
Lots to like about Kalen Culpepper in Milwaukee, and now he is taking the field at home for the first time. Here at Target Field, at shortstop, wearing number 12, or number 2 with the St. Paul Saints. Culpepper and the boys are back home for a long homestand. Orioles, Phillies, and the Braves. Beautiful night at the ballpark. Sunshine, temperatures in the mid-80s. Craig Alvarez joined the Orioles from the Guardian staff alongside Stephen Vogt the last few seasons. First season with the Orioles, in Baltimore coming in 57 and 61, and certainly right in the wild card race, as many teams are. As we see Gunnar Henderson and the lineup tonight for the Orioles, which is brought to you by Ford, and Dean Kramer will see this group and his season numbers. Morty, brought to you by Car Shield. 7 starts with the O's and made his Twins debut last time out.
This will be his 9th start of the season, and went 5 innings, gave up an earned run, a couple of strikeouts in that last outing. It was interesting for me to see the 4-seam fastball usage was way up, the cutter usage was way up. Was that more related to an opponent in the Kansas City Royals, or was that something the Twins have decided to go a little change up in his repertoire? So we'll have to keep an eye on that as this start goes along. And this gives you a good look of right here. The fastball usage, that includes the cutters. He does throw more against right-handed hitters, but that split is a very important pitch for him. But that cutter, to me, is something I want to keep an eye on to see if he does the same thing in this outing as he did in that last outing.
As for the lineup that Kramer will see tonight, the Orioles batting order brought to you by Ford. In the month of August, Baltimore scoring only 2.5 runs per game, but some great names at the top. All-stars, Henderson, Alonso, and the former first overall pick, Jackson Holiday, batting .313 since the All-Star break. With O'Neill, Dylan Beavers, Leody Taveras, Kobe Mayo at third base, Colton Cowser, great defensive player in center. And Carlos Narvaez will catch, acquired from the Red Sox in the trade for Adley Rutschman. That's how the O's line up offensively. How about the Twins here defensively, Morty, for game 1?
It'll be Austin Martin out there in left, Kreidler in center, Keyshaw in right, Brooks Lee at third. Culpepper making his Target Field debut at short. Royce Lewis second, Caratini at first. Jeffers behind the plate. As many right-handed bats as they could get in the lineup. The splits are pretty stark for Trevor Rogers on the other side, so Twins going right-handed heavy. We'll see how it all plays out.
Now, Baltimore offensively, high walk team, high strikeout team, but they also can hit home runs. As Henderson leads off, and Kramer's first pitch is outside, ball 1. Loved Audra's report, and Kramer talking about this is going to feel like maybe a live BP going against my former team, close friends, former teammates. As a hitter, how would you react to something like this tonight?
It's so weird for me, it was odd coming back here and facing the Twins for the first time, especially somewhere where you spend a good chunk of your career, to look out there and go, I was one of those guys, now I'm trying to beat them. And there's a lot of friendships there. There's a lot of long-term relationships that you have, spending so much time together. So I think sometimes it can lead to some overthinking. Okay, he knows that I do this well, and I know what he throws, and you start going down that rabbit hole of overthinking it a little bit, and then you just try and remember he's on the other team. He's trying to get me out just like I'm trying to get a hit, and you try and simplify it as much as possible and then talk a little trash after. Whoever wins those battles. But I think Schulte made a good point. Middle infielders are more familiar with the pitch mix as opposed to corners and the outfielders, just because you're aware every pitch with the pitch column, what's being thrown, everything else. Catchers have an advantage in a lot of ways too. Okay, I know he likes to do this behind in the count. I know he likes to do this when he's got 2 strikes. You know some of those tendencies and what they're comfortable with. So the catcher can have a bigger impact than anyone else, but in the end, you have to be able to put all that stuff aside and just go out there and play the game, as difficult as it can be sometimes.
Timer down to 2, down to 1, and just got in motion in time. 3-2 pitch to left center, coming in, and Kreidler makes the play. Hard contact there from Henderson, but finds Kreidler in center. So Henderson now 2 for 23 at the plate here in the month of August. Alonso coming up as we take a look at our keys to the game, as always brought to you by Toyota.
Well, happy home, long road trip, 3-city road trip, coming back after some big games, walk-off winners, all that kind of stuff on that last homestand. Continue that, and then Kramer's revenge. Even though there's a lot of close relationships over there, you'd love to be able to beat your old team here.
Alonso launches to left center in the sunshine. Kreidler will have room. And he's got it for out number 2. Pete Alonso broke out of an August skid yesterday. 3 for 3 homer twice and a win in Arlington over the Rangers. So 2 down. Holiday coming up. What about the sunshine and Morny? It's a buzzword with you, but shadows at this time of night.
I think that one is it gets above the sun and kind of can adjust to it. But I think standing out there in the sun, Kreidler's got his hand over his face now, just trying to see that ball off the bat. There are some unique things about this ballpark, and I think that's part of the advantage of playing at home, knowing what to expect when you go out there. All right, by 7:15, that's not going to be a factor anymore.
Good curveball there on Holiday. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Holiday. He was not active when the Twins and the Orioles opened the season at Camden Yards, recovering from a broken hamate bone in his right hand. Missed about 7 weeks. Goes off speed. The splitter 1-2. Holiday was the first overall pick in 2022. Brother Ethan went number 1 to Colorado. Of course, his dad Matt, incredible career. The 1-2 from Kramer.
Who's buying dinner when those 3 go out?
Well,
I think Dad's got him by a little bit.
For a little bit.
It's amazing to think he's been in the big leagues as long as he has with how young he is.
Popped up left side. Does Lee have a play? And yes, he does. Runs it down near the Orioles dugout. Dean Kramer 3 up, 3 down against his former team. And the Twins are coming up here momentarily as we kick off this long homestand game 1. Twins and the Orioles. It is Monday night. You know what that means. Hey, football not too far away. Let's take a look at the Twins starting lineup here on this Monday evening at Target Field.
Garrett Shelton, Southern Illinois University.
Austin Martin, Vanderbilt University.
Ryan Jeffers, University of North Carolina, Wilmington.
Royce Lewis, J. Sarah Catholic High School.
Josh Bell, Dallas Jesuit.
Luke Keyshaw, Arizona State University.
Brooks Lee, Cal Poly.
Kalen Culpepper, Kansas State University.
Victor Caradini, Miami-Dade.
Ryan Kreidler, UCLA.
Our Twins Menard starting lineup on this Monday night. Austin Martin will lead off for the Twins, and like you said, the splits against Trevor Rogers. And normally we have seen Cody Clemens in there as the lone lefty, but not tonight. It is all either true righties or switch hitters against the lefty Rogers.
Yeah, the splits are pretty strong in favor of starting as many righties as you can. Lefties have really struggled against Rogers. He's been on a good run here lately. It's a tough match. Twins saw him way back at the start of the season. The changeup is going to be a big pitch for him today. He's got a good changeup. Twins, as we've talked about all year long, struggle against that pitch. It's something that has given them problems, but you go back to where Royce Lewis was, especially at the early part of the year, how he's adjusted. Is he going to be able to have an impact here? You mentioned it also earlier when we came on before the game, how he's really picked up his hitting against left-handed pitchers. So Twins right-handed heavy here. Let's see how they attack. Do they jump all over every fastball they can get, or they start hunting some of those changeups they're going to see?
No balls and a strike on Austin Martin. A fastball at 94. The Twins leadoff man. The Twins better swings over the weekend against both lefty starters they saw in Milwaukee Friday and Saturday. And Shane Drowan on Friday, Robert Gasser on Saturday. Derek Shelton and the hitting team really talking about how they really enjoyed the approach the guys had against those 2 lefty starters over the weekend. There's a good swing into right center field. That won't be caught. That's going to land, and that's going to find the wall. Martin at least 2. Helmet comes off. He'll stay put. Good swing the other way, and a leadoff double to start the night for the Twins.
Well, great approach right here, especially a guy you know has that good changeup. You're giving yourself a chance to cover by going back through the middle of the field, and that's one of Austin Martin's strengths. But this is his call right here as he drives that ball. We'll have a good look at him running around the bases. This is his choice. He's watching this ball. He's watching the outfielders go after it. About halfway between first and second is when he decides that he's going to put on the brakes as he sees that ball coming back in. He's not relying on his third base coach to tell him if he should go or not. He knows exactly how deep this right center field is, all the things that he needs to do to determine whether he goes, and gives Jeffers a chance to drive him in.
Good start for the Twins. Martin at second base, ball one. Ryan Jeffers catching here tonight. Jeffers has it safely 9 straight games at home. Just a great season all around for a guy that, like Holiday, missed time in the first half with a broken hamate bone as well. If not for that, likely an all-star game. He's in the cards for Jeffers here this season. 3-0.
Interesting little 2-0 cutter there. So a pitch like that, sometimes when you get to 3-0, makes you question, am I going to get something middle in that I can drive here? And that's where I like the option of the hitter having the choice. Jeffers take it all the way. Sometimes you just they plant a seed of doubt in your mind and go, maybe this isn't the best time to fire, and then it gives you one middle in, but you get 2 more cracks to hit something hard here.
Now the 3-1 from Rogers. And Jeffers, good pass at that fastball, 96. Velocity climbing with Rogers as the season has played out. And you mentioned usage. Changeup usage for Rogers actually down as the season has played out. More cutters lately, and we've seen that so far. That cutter's been a heavy option for Rogers so far tonight. 8 pitches in.
I think that's sometimes what makes it hard to approach. Is he going to go after our weakness? Is he going to go after my weakness, or is he going to stay to his strengths? And so far, you said that cutter has been a strength, and he's gone to it.
Royce on deck. 3-2 pitch, hammered but foul on a sweeper. That has been the swing and miss pitch for Rogers. Did strike out 9 last time out against the Angels. Rogers' strikeout numbers are below league average. But if he is trying to find a swing and miss, the sweeper has been the weapon. Down and inside, a changeup, ball 4. And Jeffers draws a walk, and the Twins have 2 on, nobody out. And here comes Royce Lewis. Hitting streak ended at 13 games yesterday, but look at where Royce has enjoyed seeing the baseball this season. Red is good.
And I think the position of his hands that we showed you at the top of the show allows him to cover that ball up and in. You see how high he sets his hands. So you're not really going to get a ball above his barrel, above his hands. And I think the thing I've noticed so far is it's the hard contact, but also the hard contact with a little more launch, a little more driving that ball in the air as opposed to hard ground balls. He's hitting the gaps. He's hitting that ball in the corner. He's hitting the ball in the seats.
Just foul down the line. Last time Lewis saw Rogers, opening day in Baltimore, remember where he was batting. Opening day, 9th.
And now you're relying on him to carry a big part of this offense. It's the turnaround in season is not easy to make an adjustment that he made. It's a drastic change to change your timing, to change your rhythm, everything else, and it's led to really positive results, but it's not an easy thing to do.
Check swing, did he? Yes. Could not hold back on a high fastball. So Rogers a big out, 3 pitches, retires Lewis. So 1 away, and here comes Josh Bell, 1 double shy of 250 in his career.
He went. I heard you guys talking about it on the broadcast. It's going to be interesting to see, because that probably won't go as a check swing either once that, and if it does become reviewable.
It's going to be the baseline. It's going to be right-handed batter. If that comes to the big leagues, what they're using right now at AAA and the PCL, a right-handed batter, did the barrel go across the first base line? Left-handed batter, third base line.
Good. Anything to help the hitters.
Pitchers are like, come on, give us a chance. 2 balls and no strikes on Bell. Great road trip for Josh, especially in Milwaukee.
See, the 2-0 sweeper is why I think a 3-0 swing is good. Fastball counts. When are you going to get something you can drive? Most likely in the 3-0 count.
On the ground is short. Henderson to second and on to first. And the Orioles turn 2. Twins had 2 on, nobody out, but Rogers works out of it. And we're scoreless after 1.
Went on the IL, but he took a big step forward here this afternoon, doing some running out on the field and taking BP. Derek Shelton said running wise, he was moving well, cut the bases well, and said the look on his face was very encouraging. In the cage, maybe looked like he was feeling it a bit early on, but Shelton said, you know, that's natural when swinging for the first time in a while. But by the end of it, he was covering all parts of the zone and the ball had really good carry, and that is very encouraging. Now, of course, they want to see how he feels tomorrow before they decide on the next step, but Shelton was pretty emphatic that he will not be going on a rehab stint before he rejoins the Twins, guys.
All right, Audra, thank you, and good to see Byron wrapping up his baseball activity earlier today. Hopefully his return is coming up. Tyler O'Neill, 7 homers over his last 21 games, DHing tonight for the Orioles, former Gold Glove winning outfielder.
Good to see the skipper out there throwing BP to Buck too. Just said what, first time in about 7 years I think he said he's thrown. So that hair that always looks so good after the game, I'm not sure he's going to be able to reach up to run his fingers through it. He said it'd be interesting to see how I feel.
Brooks Lee cuts in front of Culpepper. Good play. And out number 1. Yeah, it caught our attention. Buck hit around 315 here earlier this afternoon. And who was on the mound? His manager. Warming things up. And Schulte throwing some BP. Checking the forearm, the wrist, the grip.
Right over the top. Little room service. He's got it in there. He had to throw plenty of BP in his days as a hitting coach. It's not like something that's foreign to him. But last thing you want to do is Buck's getting ready and all of a sudden you run one high and tight. And that'd be a good way to lose your job.
I was close to asking Schulte that today. If at any point was he worried about hitting him? Did that even cross his mind? You know, hasn't thrown BP in a long time, and here comes Buxton. Just don't hit him.
Yep. Coach, why don't you throw me a foot outside?
1-2 on Dylan Beavers, first round pick by the Orioles in 2022. And Taylor Ward no longer with the Orioles. He was traded. Outfielder. So Beavers in there tonight here for game 1 as Kramer misses inside with a slider.
The Ward's season was so interesting because his OPS was almost the exact same as it was last year. He just got there in a different way. They brought him in to hit for power. Traded him with 7 home runs, but now that means an opportunity for somebody else.
A Delta drone camera. Gorgeous target field. And the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Now the splitter. For a strikeout for Kramer. And 5 up, 5 down for the former Oriole here tonight.
So you want to draw it up. Some quick at-bats, some quick outs, and then it will generate some swing and miss as well. It's a good split. A lot of depth, late movement. Sold it with the arm action. You could tell by the hitter being way out front.
He was showing us that split grip on the headset on Friday in Milwaukee. At one point, he was throwing almost that Vulcan changeup in between his 2 middle fingers and went away from that to a more traditional split between the middle and index fingers.
It's amazing how guys settle on whether it's a split, a change, how they get there, how many different grips they try. I mean, it's just, I don't know if I go as far as saying it's basically trial and error, but it's not too far off because it's such a hard pitch for some guys to throw to be able to take enough off and sell it with the same arm action.
Popped up off the bat of Leody Taveras. Luke Keyshaw in right field tonight makes the play. 3 up, 3 down. Quick second for Dean Kramer. Kalen Culpepper will bat third at Target Field when we come back.
It's the summer.
Welcome back. No score, bottom two, and we wanted to take a moment to send a special message to Suzanne Perlich of Woodbury, Minnesota. Suzanne is a huge Twins fan and currently battling at the University of Minnesota Hospital in Minneapolis. And we are pulling for you, Suzanne, and your entire family. And thank you so much for watching your favorite team and sending you our best wishes from Target Field and throughout Twins territory here tonight. Keyshaw, Lee, and Culpepper against Trevor Rogers. Could be a free agent. Rogers at the end of this season. 7 shutout against the Twins on opening day back on March 26th. 1-2 on Keyshaw. Since July 1st, Keyshaw hitting .315 on base percentage over .420. And when you're putting up numbers like that, you don't chase pitches that are that close.
It's something that he's gotten better at as the year's gone along, but also something that he brought with him. Just the complete trust of the strike zone to lay off that pitch. Rogers is out there asking, where is it? Go ahead and tap your hat.
3-2 the count, and the payoff to Keyshaw, and that is strike 3, and Keyshaw will challenge, and it looked low. Automated balls and strikes are powered by T-Mobile. Keyshaw, he is aggressive. This one looked low, and it was, and so Keyshaw, a successful challenge, and the Twins keep 2, and the leadoff man is out with a second consecutive inning.
Great challenge. Obviously leverage spot. Very close pitch, but he seemed confident right away. Well located. But this is what I love about this system, is the fact that you can challenge that pitch. You are right. Now we're on first base. It completely changes the inning.
There's Brooks Lee from the right side. And a backdoor cutter for strike 1. Lee's 17 home runs. 3 of those have been hit right-handed. He swung the bat so well yesterday. Finished with 2 hits. Should have been 3, but Luis Lara made the first of 2 great catches in right field. And robbing Lee of another hit. But homered off the Miz, and now 17. And with that, a new single-season career high for the switch-hitting third baseman.
I mentioned that to him when I saw him in the clubhouse, and he did not seem all that excited about it.
The homer
off the Miz? Career high in home runs. I think when you tell a guy that in August, he's going, well, I got plenty of season left, but impressive. Coming in at 100, going out at 104. The ability to shorten his swing and be direct to the ball, and his hand-eye coordination, bat-to-ball skills, whatever you want to call it, in today's game, it is something that has got him here and also will help him stay here. Not the easiest thing in the world to do, to catch up to that off of a guy who's having one of the best seasons of all time.
Culpepper on deck. Keyshaw at first. So Keyshaw, a second-round pick, homegrown at first base. You have Brooks Lee batting, homegrown first-round pick. And then you have Kalen Culpepper, first-round pick by the Twins just a couple of years ago. Moments away from his Target Field debut. Alonso coming off the bag, and the best move there from Rogers.
I think the thing that's exciting about that is the fact that all those guys are in their mid to early 20s. I mean, you're looking at it a couple years ago, what's this team going to look like? Well, a lot of it has arrived.
Line to left field and a base hit. So the Twins have 2 on, nobody out for the second consecutive inning, and here comes Culpepper.
The shortstop, number 12, Kalen Culpepper.
1 for 5 to begin his major league career. A homer, was hit twice and a walk Friday and Saturday in Milwaukee. As Rogers misses away, ball 1. And Culpepper this year, even at AAA, Morty, the numbers were great. But what also caught my attention, low strikeout rate, high walk rate, too, from Culpepper.
I think that's a great predictor of future success. Do you swing at pitches within the strike zone? Do you do damage with pitches in the strike zone? Are you missing? But most importantly, just the pitches you swing at lead to good results. It matters as much as anything as far as hitters go. And the fact that he was able to control the zone there hopefully will lead to good results here as well.
That fastball running in at 96 and a big cut there from Culpepper. And it's 1-2.
There's just the adjustment between AAA and the big leagues now is bigger than I think it's ever been with the stuff that guys possess and the velocity they have up here. There's a lot of learning that is going to happen for this young man, but he's got an incredible amount of talent.
So Rogers went to the same spot he went against Lewis last inning, and Culpepper did not offer. That high fastball.
It's whether it's paying attention from the bench or is it following the scouting report? Do you see it out of the hand? A lot of things can lead to that.
Struck him out on a changeup. So Rogers 2 strikeouts, and both have come in big spots. So 1 away, and here comes Caratini.
Yeah, both first and second, both with nobody out. This one a good changeup, depth to it. Sped him up. He chased that pitch in off the plate, went above the zone, and then went with something to take a little something off and got him out front.
Caratini snapped it 0 for 20 yesterday. Was on base 3 times. In Milwaukee, 2 hits and a walk. As the fastball runs inside for ball 1. Opponents hitting .302 against Rogers with runners in scoring position. Numbers even better with 2 outs. Twins entering play tonight, looking at the American League wildcard race. A game and a half back of the Rangers. The Orioles also right there. They're 2 games back of the 3rd and final wild card spot. A team that has crept though in front of the Twins in the chase for that 3rd spot. The Tigers, who have won 7 of their last 10, have the best run differential in the American League after a great West Coast road trip.
Think there's any regret there on the Scooble side of things? I don't know. I think sometimes as a team too, it's just nice to have that distract. That thing's been hanging over this team for the last year and a half. It's done with. Just go out and play.
2 down, back-to-back strikeouts from Rogers, and now it's up to Kreidler.
Well, able to elevate, get another chase above the zone with that fastball. Above average extension, a little lower slide. He's got good carry on that ball when it's up in the zone. That's where he gets a lot of his chase with his fastball. It's four-seam above the zone and then off speed below the zone, especially with that changeup.
Let's go back to opening day at Camden Yards. He went 7 shutout, 3 hits. He walked 4, struck out 5. Did so in 88 pitches. As Baltimore won game 1, 2-1.
It's crazy to think of how different the lineup looks now, not only with the players who are hitting, but the positions they're playing. We talked about that on the last homestand. It's amazing how the year evolves and how you think you plan for everything and then you adjust on the fly as they have. Schulte's done a great job managing all year, trying to figure out the best spots, the best way to use everyone to get the most out of his roster. Twins have put themselves in a great spot. Got a long stretch, tough stretch this homestand, but 3 series homestand.
3-0. Kreidler tracking strike 1. Martin on deck if Kreidler can prolong the inning. Runners lead. They'll be going. 3-2 pitch. And we'll do it again. There's 97 from Rogers. Guy whose fastball was averaging really 92, 93 back in April, but as the weather warmed up with that, velocity in terms of average also has climbed. Back in July was averaging over 94. Just hit the upper 90s there. Keyshaw at second, Lee at first. Again they go, and the 3-2 poked to short. Here comes Henderson, and he throws out Kreidler. Inning over. Again, the Twins put 2 on, nobody out. Failed to score.
With a new Toyota.
Minnesota Twins baseball is presented by Progressive. Target Field here in downtown Minneapolis. It was packed over the week with the Noah Khan show on Wednesday. 3 sold out Savannah Banana games, including Mr. Morneau yesterday. The grounds crew and everybody here did a great job prepping the field, the ballpark, as the boys are back home to begin this long homestand here tonight. And I've seen plenty of that yellow shirt jersey around town. Colby Mayo leads off. And Kramer, strike one. You were part of the festivities yesterday. It looked like you had a blast. Am I right?
Yes. It was, I think, just looking up and seeing the smiles, families at the baseball game, just everybody having a blast. And there's a lot for the senses to take in if you didn't know what to expect coming in, but plenty of excitement. I think my favorite part was the baby race, but the kids thought I was crazy when I said that. But yeah, it was great. Got to see the Noah Khan show as well. Incredible performer. Was standing out there somewhere in shallow center field. Such a great ballpark for so many different things.
0-2 to Mayo. On the ground is short. First chance for Culpepper. There's the arm strike. And retires Mayo for out number 1. And the batter is Colton Cowser. And yesterday, not just, part of the festivities, and we saw Joe throw out a first pitch, but you were out there. Dozier swung. You got a chance to play first base yesterday. How about this?
First time I've been on a field playing defense since 2015. I realized that right before I ran out of the dugout. I ensued a little bit of panic in there, but then got over there and then couldn't have drawn it up any better. I mean, got a routine play to start. Good feed across the infield. Just being able to do that in a relaxed environment. I got to come back here after I was traded, but it was as a member of another team, so it wasn't quite the same. Being able to do that, and then my 2 youngest kids were born after I retired, so I'm getting to see their dad out here. I thought was pretty cool too.
Did you tell your teammates, just please hit my glove? Just please, nothing.
Hit me in the chest.
Low here. Let's not no scoops here.
Yeah, I don't want to blow out a hammy. But actually, we had a back pick set up as well. Talking to the catcher before we went out there, I say, hey, we get somebody on. He goes, you want a back pick? I said, sure, why not? So it was got some action over there, and no, that was not one part of me, even as the game was going on. My kids are going, Dad, you got to hit. There was not 1 ounce of me that wanted to be standing there in the batter's box embarrassing myself. So I was good there. But to get out there and play defense, a little closure, get in front of these awesome fans one more time, it was a special experience.
Swing and a miss. And the splitter is dancing so far tonight from Kramer. 8 up, 8 down. He has struck out 2.
Yeah, split's been good. He's got good depth on it. He's able to take a lot off. He's close to 10-mile-an-hour difference between his fastball and his split. That's a big adjustment, especially if you're able to sell it with good arm speed like he has been.
Carlos Narvaez, veteran catcher, came to the Orioles as part of the trade that sent Adley Rutschman from Baltimore to Boston. Among the injuries that the Orioles are dealing with and have been dealing with for a while, and part of the reason why I think the Orioles felt comfortable trading a former #1 pick in Rutschman, Samuel Basallo, a young promising catcher the Orioles have. He's hurt right now, out with a shoulder injury. But here's the veteran Narvaez in his 6th game with his new team. 0-2 from Kramer.
There's that cutter I mentioned off the top. Hasn't thrown as many of those today as he did in that last. It's the splitter usage we've noticed, but the 4-seam fastball against the right-handed hitters, he's continued to throw that a lot more than he did in his time as an Oriole.
Good velocity there at 95. Now the 2-2. And a challenge here from Jeffers. Yeah, this looks to be a strike, top of the zone. Automated balls and strikes powered by T-Mobile. And Ryan Jeffers has flipped a ball into an ABS strikeout for the 16th time this season. So Dean Kramer is perfect through 3. Bananas in the stands, and we saw number 33 in banana yellow yesterday at Target Field, a great sight.
Bananas.
Home field advantage.
Austin Martin will lead off the 3rd inning, doubled to the alley in right center field. And a second at bat against Rogers. And outside for ball 1. Another good swing, high and deep to left field. Back it goes, and that ball's gone. A line drive laser to the bleachers in left. Martin's 3rd, and it's 1-0 Twins.
A couple opportunities missed in the first 2 innings by the Twins, but Austin Martin took care of it by himself right there. That was loud coming off. Great approach his first at bat. Drove ball in the opposite gap. This time got something to turn on. The pitch in that part of the zone, you can't miss those, and he didn't.
His first home run since May 22nd. I know it was a frustrating day for Austin yesterday. Had a couple of big spots against Milwaukee, and he's put that behind him. He's come back, new day, new attitude, went to work with the hitting guys downstairs. A homer and a double so far off Rogers, and the Twins have a 1-0 lead. And Rogers doesn't give up too many, just the 12th he's allowed this season. And Jeffers began to offer, but no swing. On a sweeper and a 2-ball 1-strike count of the Twins catcher who walked back in the 1st inning.
His changeup, because of that arm angle, it looks like it cuts every once in a while. That one there looked like it had a little cut to it. Narvaez kind of got thumbed on that one.
And the full count to Ryan Jeffers. And the payoff from Rogers. To the first base side, that's a live ball. Alonso will take it himself. And Jeffers is retired, but let's go back to Austin Martin and his 3rd home run this season. Morning.
Well, got himself a 1-0 fastball, middle, bottom part of the zone. Jumped all over it. Line drive. It's 105 off the bat. So great swing, providing a spark. Put him in that leadoff spot.
Just foul out in front of a cutter from Lewis. Struck out swinging in the 1st.
Just think the consistency of hard contact and it's gotten better. The barrel rate's gone up each month. Just so much confidence right now. I think that adjustment that he made, it did a few things, but I mentioned when I was down there with him in St. Paul, he just said, faced a guy throwing 98 last night, and it didn't look like he was throwing that hard because I had this step back. And what that does as a hitter, to free up your mind and just let you feel like I've got time. And the last thing you want to feel as a hitter is to be rushed. And so once he realized that that move helped him see the ball a little bit longer and helped him recognize pitches a little bit better, he just kind of took off from that moment, and he's continued to get more comfortable with it. And it's just led to productivity, and I think he's just in a spot now where it's so hard to hit and think at the same time. And that move would require some thinking to, okay, when do I start this move? I want to get this done early, get myself in a position to hit. Now he's just picking up the baseball. Unfortunately,
sweeper buried.
Unfortunately, didn't pick that one up. But, you know, he's a guy that, they said, confidence is almost the entire battle in hitting. If you go up there and you have a swing that nobody else likes, but you believe in it and you feel like it's going to work for you and you get results with it, it doesn't matter really what anyone else thinks. And I think he's had so much confidence going and just feeds off that. And I think everybody else around him feeds off it as well. He's one of those guys that provides energy, and when he's doing well and when he's, I'm not saying he wasn't doing it when you're struggling, but it is really hard to be that guy that provides that boost on the bench when you're battling through what you're going through as a hitter, because the big leagues are tough.
Here's Bell. Cranks one to center. Cowser drifting. He'll have a play on the warning track. And Josh Bell just missed his 16th home run. Out number 3. But the Twins strike Austin Martin. His first homer since late May. 3rd this season. 1-0 after 3.
Good night.
Dean Kramer goes back to work in the 4th here at Target Field. His pitching coach Pete Mackey has been really pleased with what he has seen from Kramer these last few days, saying that he just has a really good awareness of where his strengths are and where his stuff plays best. But Pete also talked about building a relationship with a new pitcher like Kramer. You know, he said there's only 7 or 8 weeks left in the season, so a lot of their focus is just going to be on usage and location. It sounds simple, but he said it would be really bad coaching to say, all right, you know, here's 8 things that we would like you to get better at. He said, you know, you have to think about if the juice is worth the squeeze. And right now, we got him for a reason. We got him because he's good, and he has a lot of stuff that plays really well. We're going to focus on that. Maybe some few tweaks here and there, but so far, they like what they see, guys.
All right, Audra, thank you. A challenge here from Gunnar Henderson.
Hit the ball. Baltimore has 2 left.
And he was correct. The Orioles maintain 2 ABS challenges. It's always a fascinating question for either a hitting coach or pitching coach about how hands-on are you when a new player arrives. And I think it's different. You tell me, Morty, if we're talking about a guy like Culpepper, drafted by the team, homegrown, rookie, that's one thing. But then you have a veteran like Kramer. Yeah, how hands-on will the staff be at this point of the season?
It's such a feel thing, and a lot of times you got to earn the trust before someone's willing to make changes and willing to do something different, and it's all about building relationships. And Pete talked about that, Audra talked about that. You gotta come in and you go, hey, why are you trying to change everything, and why'd you trade for me if you don't like what you saw? And it's kind of that you really have to finesse your way in there of, okay, we'd like you to up your usage of this. We think this works really well for you, and trying to convince a guy mid-season after you've traded for him to make those adjustments can be difficult. I like the fact that we're not going to give him 8 things. We're just going to try and, you know, focus on the things that maybe he's used to focusing on, and just sort of make small adjustments as you go along, as opposed to trying to make a whole bunch of wholesale changes to a guy who has had success in his big league career. And I think of Taj last year, right? They had the opportunity to send him down. The season was in a different spot. You're fighting for a playoff spot, so you're not going to change too much. But with Taj last year, they changed the usage. And it's led to a really good season as Jeffers going to challenge here.
This one looked high. Automated balls and strikes are powered by T-Mobile. And Jeffers incorrect on this one.
Confirmed, the pitch is the ball. Minnesota has 1 remaining.
Twins 1 remaining. Adam Hammery behind the plate For game one tonight, the crew chief is Todd Tishner at first. So 3-2 on Henderson. And that splitter sails outside. First base runner tonight is Henderson as he draws a leadoff walk here in the fourth inning. Allstate good hands. We take a closer look at Dean Kramer. And a strikeout so far tonight. Struck out 3. First time through the Baltimore batting order tonight. And again, leaning more on his four-seam fastball so far.
All the
pitches in.
All the strikeouts have come on the split. And you're right, that four-seam fastball usage pretty close to where it was in that last start in Kansas City.
Pete Alonso swung at the first pitch and flied out to deep center. The 5-time All-Star, 2-time All-Star Game Home Run Derby champ. Huge pickup by the Orioles by a free agency this year. 25 home runs. He's knocked in 75. No surprise. Big numbers for a great player. Dangerous count here. Got the call and no challenge from Alonso. Look low.
Yeah, it looked like he didn't like it. He had thoughts of questioning it, but this is the hard thing, I think, when to use these challenges. Does it make sense in a 2-0 count? You're still ahead in the count. He's still got to come to you. Do you want it in case you're wrong to save it for later in the at-bat, say with 2 strikes?
Snow cone catch there from Jeffers. And now 3-1 with Holiday on deck.
Dangerous hitter in the box. First time pitching with a runner on base here. Get him out of stretch, having a concern about that, so altered the timing a little bit.
Mentioned that the Orioles, they strike out at a high rate, they walk at a high rate. And Alonso in particular, he is walking more this year than he has in the past. See if Henderson's moving here. 3-2 count. Takes off and the pitch grounded to third. And Lee's only play is across. So 1 away, Henderson down to second, and here comes Holiday.
Well, still a lot of cutters to the right-handed hitters. Threw one curveball in that Alonso at bat, but it's been four-seam cutter, completely different usage than what he was doing with Baltimore. So the righties, he's kind of stuck to that. Lefties a little more kind of equal usage with those pitches, but interesting to see what he's done so far as a Twin.
Curveball top of the zone on Holiday, who did not see many four-seam fastballs in the first inning. A 154 here in the month of August so far as Holiday. That's going to be a fair ball. It'll be Kramer picking, throwing, and not in time. Holiday's speed winning out there. Infield hit on a swinging bunt. Henderson down to third. Still 1 out for Tyler O'Neill.
Really interesting to see the bat toss as he kind of hit this in front. He's concerned about Jeffers for a second here. Is going to pop up and kind of across Jeffers' path right there, but he got down the line quick.
So 2 on, 1 out for O'Neill.
So we'll see if he sticks to that pattern he's had against the righties so far. Working ahead with that four seam, and Tyler O'Neill took it. Does he go to the cutter here, kind of off the same spot, see if he can get a swing and miss? So I think that's the hard thing. You, as a pitcher, as a catcher, you're trying to read what that batter is trying to do. Is he a guy who's always on the fastball? Does he come off the fastball? Did he take a fastball in zone there because he was looking for something else? Is he a guy who just likes to take it in an 0-0 count? All those things come into play of how you're going to call those pitches. Sometimes you just reach back and throw a fastball past him. But those two fastballs have established, and both have been away. So now if he can get a cutter that kind of starts in that area of the strike zone, maybe now he can get a chase off the plate for strike 3 here.
1-2 on O'Neill. Holiday goes, and the pitch is bounced foul. So you're talking about tunneling there. Pitchers often bring that up about you want the same 2 pitches, and maybe even 3, to just kind of look like they're coming out of the same arm slot, arm path, right?
Well, that was such a good pitch because it was a split out of that same spot. So 4-seam straight right, cutter moving away. Now the split with some depth to it, kind of starting in that same spot, gives the hitter something else to think about.
Holiday goes again, swing and a miss. They will throw to second base, and now Holiday stops, and with that, Henderson comes home, and he scores. So the run does count. The Twins get 2 on the play, but Henderson scoring. So Holiday broke for second, stopped, got himself in a rundown, and that gave Henderson a chance to what turns out to be stealing home. Inning ends, but the Orioles get a run. Henderson scoring from third base, and it's a 1-1 game. Bottom 4 underway, all tied, 1-1. Keyshaw, Lee, and Culpepper. And a broken bat, and that's a foul ball.
So for those of you scoring at home, that last play, not a stolen base.
Not a stolen base at home.
It is a fielder's choice because of the caught stealing at second base. So either way, the Orioles get a run, but doesn't count as a stolen base or a steal of home.
It's a play we've seen the Twins run a few times now in recent years, where more or less Holiday was giving himself up to allow Henderson to break for the plate. And even though O'Neill struck out, let's still try to make this a productive moment, if you will, and tie this game.
And then good instincts by Holiday, at least paying attention to what's going on there of, okay, if he strikes out, so you're running as a base runner, right? If he strikes out and I run into a tag, that run doesn't score. So you're trying to run that. You have to make sure you're aware of the outs and the counts and the situation.
Keyshaw saying that hit him, and yep, Adam Hammery saying the same. This is one that the Orioles could challenge.
Sounded
Look
like
at the pant leg there.
Yeah, just some light contact, but not like you can hear it. They're not going to challenge. Oh, a little shoelace.
Well, there you go. If I'm going to sign up to step in the box and say, hey, you're going to get hit by a big league pitch, that's the one that I would sign up for. Now, if the pitcher could do that, like Perk says, oh, step in there, I won't hit you. I don't believe that. But if he's going to hit me, that's the one I want.
That's the one I would have taken if I wasn't too scared of taking that bat in yesterday's game.
Keyshaw stays, and Lee chops it foul.
Well, Orioles last half after Twins scored to go up 1-0, lead-off walk led to a run. Let's see if the Twins now for the 3rd time in 4 innings, if you don't count the home run, but so I guess the 4th time in 4 innings of having a runner on base. First 2 innings had first and second with nobody out. Weren't able to move those runners and score. Got to find a way here. All the base runners they've had early. So you're telling me that's better than the live BP ball in the middle of the back that Perk hit me with?
Yeah, like that one doesn't seem fun. Yeah, and he probably did that on purpose.
Especially it was fastball away. We talked about this in the players broadcast, but yeah, thanks, Perk.
I'll just say this. The best in the world don't miss that badly. How about that? Okay.
He swore up and down that it was an accident.
Okay.
We'll see.
Big lead for Keyshaw, takes off. The 1-2, cued up the first base line. And Alonso boots it, and that's a foul ball. They're calling it foul.
No way. 100% that ball was fair. That ball had some spin on it. That's the home plate umpire's call because it's in front of the bag. It's not the first base umpire's call. They figure he has a better look. But this ball, to me, It should have been an error and should be runners on first and second. So when you hit it off the cap or the end of the bat, it has a ton of spin on it. And we've seen these from time to time start in foul territory and end up coming back. And that ball, to me, is 100% fair. That's a missed call.
It looked like it was right on the line. Even Alonso. Look, Alonso's reaction says it all right there.
Yeah.
He realizes that that was a fair ball.
And that's the spin that's keeping it fair. And he had to make that decision. Is it going to go foul? If he lets it go foul, it's past him and off the base, or lets it run past him. So that's why he decided to pick it up. But I've made an error on that exact ball, hit like that, exit velo about 42.
And that reaction is all you need to know.
And the Twins fans' reaction behind him also is all you need to know, how hard that ball was hit. But those are the ones that pop up on you.
Now 3-2. So Keyshawn's on the move here. Narvaez, his pop time to second base is below league average. Runner stays, and Lee sends it to left center field in the alley. 2 over, and neither gets there. It lands near Cowser to second base. Lee slides in safely as Keyshawn makes third.
Oh, you'll take the double over reaching on an error. Good swing here, good base running, good read by Keyshawn. Seeing that ball was going to split the gap, and then aggressive by Brooks. Just a head down to contact. Good swing. You could tell by the bat flip that he figured he had it. And then Keyshawn just at the very end made sure that ball was going to fall as he got close to second, but he wasn't going to score on that, and you're not going to send him with nobody out there.
Infield in, nobody out. Kalen Culpepper, big cut. Well, that is one good-looking hard swing there from the rookie in his third big league game. Tremendous bat speed. That's part of his strength. Calling card.
See how much he learned from that first at bat. Went up there, ended up striking out on a 2-2 changeup. Chased the ball in off the plate. Now he's seen everything he has. Everything is new for him at this point in his career. How is he adjusting at bat to at bat?
Smack to left center field. Coming in is Beavers, and Beavers makes the catch deep enough for Keyshawn to tag and score. And Kalen Culpepper picks up his second big league RBI. A sac fly to left, and the Twins have a 2-1 lead.
Well, productive at bat. Putting the ball in play, moving it forward. Got a sweeper here down towards the end of the bat, but because of the angle the Beavers had to take to this ball, Keyshawn was able to tag up and score. Yep, that's knowing you got the job done and gave your team the lead. I think one of the best things I heard him talk about before the game today was all the questions he was asked, but he ended with, let's see if we can get a dub. See if we can find a way to get a win. And Caratini's going to get first base. Brooks is going to have to go back. This pitch hits Caratini, but you love hearing young players talk about it, especially because the minor leagues, yes, you're trying to win every game, but it's also about development and how am I getting myself to the next level? And there's a lot of internal thoughts there. And so for a young kid to come up and talk about winning baseball games is another breaking pitch. Keyshawn got hit by a sweeper. Caratini, and another run scoring opportunity.
I want to make your own Twins sign? You can with Big Fan Signs. Available right here at Target Fields Gate 34. Scan the QR code to get started. You design a custom sign on your phone. We print it in minutes. You pick it up and cheer. It's that easy to express your fandom. So entering his start tonight, Trevor Rogers, 21 starts, 115 2/3 innings. He hit one batter all year. He's at 2 tonight, and both here in the 4th inning.
And both with sweepers, and both down in that foot area. So, you know, left-handed pitcher to a right-handed hitter, you're trying to get that ball to start over the heart of the plate, end up below their zone, below their barrel, towards their back foot. Just having a hard time controlling that pitch.
And you always tell me hitters, and Joe was better than anybody. You try to eliminate pitches. He's missing so badly with that sweeper right now. Do you wait and see, okay, throw that in the zone before I offer at it?
And yeah, I think you're forcing him to show you he can land that pitch.
Alonso chasing. Alonso on the warning track has a play.
That was Great communication right there. I'm not sure you can hear that at home, but from Narvaez behind the plate, he's saying stay with it, stay with it, stay with it, meaning the spin on that ball brought it back towards the field. And you see as this ball's coming down, Alonso makes an adjustment, but this is the spin. Have a listen. And that ball at its height was probably over the net, maybe in foul territory, but the spin brought it back. And that's the communication that has to happen at field level. And you can hear that. Austin, 2 good swings.
It's a great pickup there, Morty. Communication between Narvaez and Alonso. Martin 2 for 2. Go to first, and Caratini sliding back in safely.
Well, feet first. That's your first base coach. You're relying on that, having an eye on that first baseman behind you. Your job as a base runner is to look at the catcher, look at the pitcher. You never want to be looking behind you, but you hear Grady Sizemore over there yelling, screaming, back, back, back. You know there's a back pick coming, something happening. Grady having a little chuckle. Vic going, what are you doing? Why are you? Don't run. Quit trying to pick me off.
Lee at second, Caratini at first. Twins by 1. Another drive into left field. This one to the warning track and will hang in the yard for Beavers. Austin Martin, 3 great swings off Rogers, retired for the first time, but the Culpepper sac fly, and the Twins regain the lead.
This summer.
Well, let's take a look at how the Orioles were able to score last inning. First and third, full count. Holiday does a great job of understanding the situation. So often I hear Paul Molitor talk about this a lot, of base runners running with their head down, having no idea if that ball is put in play, what happened, but he has to know there. If he just continues on, they put the tag on, that run doesn't score, but he understood that that was strike 3. He was potentially going to be the third out of the inning, put on the brakes, let that runner from third come home. So a young player showing good instincts, but also Orioles just trying to find a way to scratch across runs as they've struggled to do.
And Baltimore winning big yesterday in Arlington, scoring 10 runs, but before that, a lineup that scored a total of 11 runs over the prior 7 games. And we were in Baltimore, Camden Yards, opening day, and understandably so, a lot of hype around Baltimore and the chances for this team to really contend in the American League and the American League East. And I think we all agreed that that made sense.
Yeah, there was a lot of preseason expectations on this team. You figured it was going to be a team that was going to hit a whole bunch of home runs, score a ton of runs. The offense was going to carry them, but it's kind of been the opposite. The pitching has carried them. You never know how it's going to end up because there's so much talent on this roster as well. They've kind of built towards this. They feel like they're in that window with a lot of these players, and injuries have an impact on that.
2-2 on Beavers. Beavers struck out swinging in the second. And got him swinging here in the 5th. So 1 away. Twins up by 1. Speaking of the Orioles and the trade deadline, Liberty Mutual Insurance field coverage. This is what Baltimore did at the deadline. Rutschman to Boston, Taylor Ward to Seattle. Tyler Wells, drafted by the Twins. He had been closing for the Orioles with Ryan Helsley's injury. He went to Tampa Bay, and Dean Kramer joined the Twins, and tonight making his 2nd start.
Yeah, a lot of both these teams, different look from where we were at in that opening series.
Leody Taveras takes down low. I was chatting with Dean in Kansas City and asking him the question about, being traded. Did you sense it was coming? And he brought up a side of it that I've never thought of before. And he said, I didn't rule it out, but he thought he was going to be dealt on Monday, on deadline day. That didn't happen. He got dealt a couple days prior while the Twins were in Seattle. And his reasoning was, if I do come back, it makes sense, because he was looking ahead at who is under contract and or team control to start for the Orioles next season. Some of this is roster related, others because it's injury. But going into next year, Shane Baz, Kyle Bradish, Brandon Young, those three starters under team control to start for Baltimore next year. That's it. So Kramer thinking, I might stay because of that. There's not this allotment of 4, 5, 6 guys that Baltimore can bring back to start.
And I think another layer that was brought up when we were talking before the game as well is the uncertainty of next year. And you have guys that are free agents at the end of next year. What's next season going to look like? I think we're all hopeful that it's a full season of baseball. I think that'll be the best thing for the game. But there is some uncertainty there of okay, if we're not able to get anything back for an Adley Rutschman next year, something unforeseen happens or horrible happens. So they had to make that tough call when they're in the wild card race.
Rolled to first, and Caratini to the bag for out number 2.
So there is that part of it.
From Twins territory to the world, Delta, official airline of the Minnesota Twins.
It's just been rare that I've heard a player admit that, yeah, it's not just my own outlook, but thinking about the team's outlook the following season. As you see the wild card standings, Twins and Orioles right there. Tigers, Guardians chasing right now Texas for the 3rd and final wild card spot.
I think just the hard thing, and you guys will say I try not to pay attention to the rumors and all that kind of stuff, but there's not a whole lot of jobs where you have zero control over where you end up for the first 6 years while you're employed and become a free agent. That kind of changes, but.
And Kramer, he's under team control for the Twins next year. So the Twins adding Dean Kramer, Jeff Hoffman, as Cam Sanders is warming up at the Baltimore pen. Those guys under team control for 2027. A.J. Minter is not. He is eligible for free agency at season's end. 0-2 on Colby Mayo.
Old slider that you mentioned he hadn't thrown a whole lot until that last outing. I like it. He's been primarily four-seam cutter to the right-handed hitters, and then just show him a little something different, a little more break. Second time through the order, are they starting to change their approach? Have they adjusted?
Brooks Lee near the bag at third, and Dean Kramer for the 1-2-3 fifth. Twins back at it, bottom 5, up 1.
Say you get a.
Welcome back. Hey, My Twins members, we want to thank you for your loyalty all season long. My Twins season ticket members can enjoy 40% off food and beverage during the Phillies and Braves series. And we're proud to celebrate our best fans with member appreciation. Learn more at twins.com/mytwins. Nothing like a long road trip, and then you come home for a long homestand. Those Buxton upside-down hats, fan favorite. Ryan Jeffers leads off the inning as the Orioles make a pitching change. Rogers leaves after 4, and Cam Sanders is on for the 3rd time this season with the Orioles.
Mostly sliders, four-seam fastball. This ball's going to average about 96.
Guy that threw for Derek Shelton in Pittsburgh last year. 0-2 the count on Jeffers. And Sanders misses away.
Games like this, the first game of a series, can have an impact on the next two. And talk about the Twins have been pretty good in rubber games so far this year, but getting into that bullpen in the 5th inning of game 1 can have an impact in game 2 and 3.
In the hole, it's short, backhanded by Henderson. Long throw, and Alonso with the stretch. So 1 away, and Royce Lewis is coming up. Now the Twins back home first time since late July. And boy, it was fun on that prior homestand. Some walk-off wins, the ultimate grand slam, Cody Clemens. A moment we'll never forget here. It happened here that late July afternoon. Twins winning that series over the Royals. Look out, Royce.
And I think there was other things that were at play there. Of we were approaching the deadline. There was so much talk about, okay, if we're in the hunt, we're going to add to this team, and it was almost like everything that went into it was like, hey, we've done our part. Let's see what you do. And the Twins went out and made some additions.
Got jam, shallow left center field, and down. So Lewis with a one-out knock. And a new hitting streak begins here tonight.
Nice to put something in play, and with the outfielders playing deeper than they ever have, we're seeing some of these types of hits fall in as he got jammed a little bit, but he could turn that single into a double. He's been aggressive on the base pass. Does he feel like he can run here?
11 stolen bases for Royce. Stole a base over the weekend in Milwaukee, and now Josh Bell. 1-1. Yeah, I will always argue that it can be one game that will dictate what a team does or does not, because we saw it last year. And I will say this forever, that I think what was the catalyst for what turned out to be, 40% of the roster being traded was losing that last game at Dodger Stadium. Now, set up by losing the series in Colorado, I get that, but then
the outlook changed.
Everything changed that last day in LA. Weekly hit right side. Holiday shovels to second, and Bell running hard is safe at first.
Some arm strength on the end of that play right there. Watching Bell go down the line, looked like he was going to have that beat easily, but ended up closer. I initially thought, as it wasn't hit all that hard off the bat, but a good solid feed, good quick exchange, and then a strong throw.
Bell beat the return throw from Henderson, giving Keyshaw a chance. He's been on twice. A walk and hit by pitch, and a run scored.
That ball 87 miles an hour across the infield on that quick exchange. You mentioned a lot of talent on this roster, a lot of high upside players with some really tools that stand out.
Jackson Holiday was drafted as a shortstop, but Henderson, the Orioles made it pretty clear early on that you're not bumping him out of shortstop. He's going to be there when healthy. Keyshaw got jammed. Shallow right field, but Holiday drifting out. And he makes the basket catch. And the Twins lead one.
Home field.
Welcome back. StatCast 3D is powered by Google Cloud. Dean Kramer to second start as a Twin has induced 11 swing and misses so far tonight. He had only 5 last time out, so amped up to see his former teammates here tonight.
So you see those ones at the bottom of the zone. That's that split. He's been very good with that pitch.
As Cowser sends it to left center, deep but playable for Kreidler. One pitch, one swing, and Cowser 0 for 2. Maybe some passing words for Kramer. Yep. As he went by him near the left side of the infield.
So that is the hardest thing, to separate those things, guys that you spent so much time with, and you're always closer with a few guys on your team than you are others. You try and connect with everyone, but there are guys that you just relate to in some ways better than others. So you have that battle and you have that fun together. You play cards on the plane or you hang out together, whatever it is, and all of a sudden you got to come out here and compete. And then you have those little interactions that only the two of them will probably ever tell us what was said, or won't ever tell us what was said.
I would imagine too, and let's take a look here. So after Cowser made the out, back to the dugout. Yep, Kramer something said there. Cowser heard it.
Something about warning track power, or probably something along those lines. shouldn't have skipped leg day, something.
But if you're going to face your former team, right, I think ideally it would be game one because you want to see him and all that stuff. You hang out, say hello, say Monday, Tuesday, and then you face him on Wednesday and you flip that around and be like, no, we're not friends anymore.
Yeah, whether you go for lunch or meet up after for dinner or something, yeah, you want to be done with your work.
On the corner, strike three, and Narvaez, no, not a challenge. I mean, that hand came up. It was about to tap the helmet. Almost like the Thing from the Addams Family here. The hand was moving on its own, and
this is going to
did not challenge.
Might look like Shelty trying to comb his hair tomorrow after throwing BP today. Should I? The arm's not really. Yeah. Either that or me sitting in the back of class trying to answer a question. No chance I was paying attention.
No.
He's throwing the ball well today against his former team, and he's done a great job of being locked in. I thought his comments from yesterday, Audrey, you know, it was so good to hear him say, it doesn't matter who you're facing, it's all just about execution, whether it's guys I know or he said he's faced the Yankees a ton, and he's executed very well today. Only run coming on a first to third steal play.
Played by Lewis from shallow right field. 3 up, 3 down. Once again for Dean Kramer through 6.
Save on
Minnesota Twins baseball is presented by your local Toyota dealers and by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Now that's a fun day in the summer. Buxton gave his batting gloves and then gave his spikes. Those kids will never forget that moment. Pretty awesome there from a first-class individual. And hopefully he is back active here very soon after really ramping up his workout in the field today.
We're hopeful just for the sake of seeing him on the field, but also the part of the schedule that's coming up. It's not like it's going to be an easy homestand. You've got some very, very good baseball teams in here.
Yeah, contending teams.
Month of August, plus you also have teams within your division coming up as well towards the end of the month. Teams that you're chasing. Hopefully you're going to be battling for the division lead at that point. It's just so much better on August the 10th this year, what we're talking about, compared to August the 10th of last year. You got to give credit to Shelty. You got to give credit to the coaching staff, but I think most importantly the players who have fought their way through all the distractions, all the uncertainty, everything that has happened or happened in the offseason and dating back to last year. Some of the guys were here, some weren't. But it has been great to see how the organization and everyone has reacted, put themselves in a good spot.
On the ground, left side, a bobble from Mayo, and Lee is still out. Jordan Westberg, in a perfect world, would be playing third base for the Orioles, but he's hurt. So Mayo with a bobble and no challenge from the Twins on a close play, but Mayo recovered and picks up the out here to begin the 6th.
Well, it doesn't, right there, that is the most important part of that play. Picking that ball up with the bare hand. Bobble it. The next mistake you make is trying to pick it up with your glove, which is hard to do, and then you have to make the exchange. So even if you don't catch it clean, you still have a chance if you pick it up with your bare hand like you did there. It's just the simplest little plays that big leaguers get right consistently that lead to those results, even if you don't feel that ball clean.
Third plate appearance for Kalen Culpepper from one of the Twins rookie. Here's Audrey.
Well, guys, it took all of 2 games for Kalen Culpepper to get hit by multiple pitches in a single game, which is a new Twins rookie record. Before him, the record belonged to David Ortiz, who got plunked twice in his 33rd big league game. When I told Kalen about that, he chuckled. He said, heck yeah, that's one way to make history. It's not every day you get to break a David Ortiz record, so I will take it. Hopefully more history to come. So game 1, he had the home run. Game 2, he made a little bit of painful hit history. So I asked him, what does he want to check off in Game 3? He said a go-ahead knock, maybe a stolen base. So he's got the go-ahead part, but he told me he was very tempted to take off after reaching base there in Milwaukee, but a little too quick there to home. He was like, that guy was a little too fast for my taste, but he's itching for that stolen base. So maybe that will happen here in this at-bat.
Audra, thanks. He stole 17 bases with the Saints this season. 0-2 the count against Sanders. And strike 3, locked him up on a slider. So 2 down.
Yeah, it just froze him. Pitch that started in. Just couldn't pull the trigger on it.
Base is empty for Caratini. Out to shallow left, and Dylan Beavers coming in, and Sanders. Good job out of the bullpen. 2 scoreless innings here tonight.
Get an 11%.
Now Twins have 2 runs tonight, a Culpepper sac fly and an Austin Martin home run, and Martin's home run swing powered by Treasure Island Resort and Casino. For every Twins homer hit to the Treasure Island home run deck, Treasure Island donates $2,500 to the Twins Community Fund in support of the Junior Twins Equipment Kit Program. Alonso, Holiday, and O'Neill against Kramer here in the 7th. Alonso yesterday 3 for 3, homer twice. Oh for 2 here tonight. Progressive wire cam. Close. Twins have 1 challenge left. Likely not a strike. Good decision by Jeffers, and now the 3-0 from Kramer.
Wonder how quickly, if the leadoff batter does reach, how quickly the Twins get somebody up going in the pen. Guys are kind of moving around down there. Kramer's been throwing the ball fantastic.
Sliced out to right center in the alley, but a play for Keyshaw.
Treasure Island Resort and Casino is the exclusive casino partner of the Minnesota Twins. Visit TICasino.com to learn more about Minnesota's destination fun.
Back with Justin Morneau, Audra Martin, Corey Provis tonight for the Dick Bramer TV booth at Target Field. Producer Rick Palermo, director Jordan Austin, and our award-winning Twins TV team. 1-run game here in the 7th, and Holiday. Strike 1. Holiday 1 for 2. Out to center, and room for Kreidler as he backpedals. And back-to-back fly ball outs, and 2 down here in the Baltimore 7th. Come sail away with the Twins on Yacht Rock Night. That's a fun one. On Friday, August 28th, here at Target Field. Catch the smooth sounds of a pregame Yacht Rock cover band. Score a captain's hat and special ticket package available. And also stick around for postgame fireworks. Cruise into Target Field, twins.com/yachtrock.
Yeah, one of those lids.
Captain Morneau.
Captain Obvious.
There's the Dockin, right?
The Danimal calls me all the time.
He does?
Yep.
That is Justin's brother-in-law. 0-2.
And I'm the director of fun at the cabin, pulling the kids on the tube. Seems fitting. Let's see if we can finish off the 7th here tonight when they really needed him to go deep. He's done a great job of doing exactly that. A punch out on a cutter down and away, maybe.
This is the deepest that Kramer has gone all season. Went 6 innings 3 times as an Oriole. 6 2/3, trying to make it 7. He does. Cutter strikes out O'Neill. 7 strong from Dean Kramer in his Twins target field debut. Austin Martin, 2 for 3 tonight, will bat second when we come back, but first we stretch. Twins up 1.
All audibles is go ball.
Minnesota Twins baseball is presented by Delta. From Twins territory to the world, Delta, official airline of the Minnesota Twins. Twins up 2-1, bottom 7. Hitters 9-1 and 2 coming up, and Rico Garcia takes over for the Orioles. 4 scoreless appearances so far this month. A bunt from Kreidler, and that ball will travel foul.
I love that Twins have really started to make this part of the game. Finding ways on base, getting rallies started. Even with runners on base, we've seen it a couple of times. Just using that bunt as a weapon, getting that defense a little bit closer to you, even if you don't get it down. Now you got a little more room on the left side if you're able to pull something.
And Kreidler in particular, he's been one that will notice that the third baseman is playing back, and he's completely on his own to lay a bunt down. And yes, even though the bunt hits have picked up marginally, the Twins have the most infield hits in baseball. 43 infield hits entering play tonight, and this is not a team where Derek Shelton says, hey, all you guys bunt. Skips off the mound. Loved by Holiday, no play.
That's an infield hit.
There you go. There's number 44.
Yeah, it's not
That's
like they're
TV.
hit it on the ground and run and use your speed. But I think the contact approach and the adjustments they make with 2 strikes does lead to some infield hits. And right there, just using the big part of the field. Take what the game gives you. And we were wondering if, after how well he swung the bat so far, if Austin Martin was going to get this at bat in a 1-run game. He is. Now see if he's asked to bunt, possibly. A little motion.
Great bunt. Hugging that third base line. The throw is wide. Into foul territory. Kreidler to third base. He'll be hauled, and Martin stumbles around second, stays put.
Just a perfectly executed bunt. He deadened this thing, got it off the end of the bat, got it out there, forced the catcher to field this ball on the third base side, and then spin and try and pick up the target, make a good throw. He wasn't able to. Put a little pressure on the defense. That'll go down as a single with an E2. Just kind of yanked it. Alonso had no chance of catching that ball. Now, there's times when you see guys lay down a sack and they know they're going to be out by 10 feet, and then you see them guys lay down a bunt and they can smell a hit. He was smelling a hit as soon as he got that down.
Triple shy of the cycle. Infield in. Nobody out. Ryan Jeffers. As Garcia misses down low. But that was something that Martin was trying to do yesterday. Laid down a bunt and could not do it. As the Twins had 2 on, nobody out in the 7th inning in Milwaukee. New night, new approach. And we were talking about this earlier with Martin. And just knowing that with a lefty on the mound in Rogers tonight. He had a rough day yesterday. Had to know that, hey, there's a good chance I'm playing tonight. But if this was going to be 3 righties, he was going to sit on yesterday for a while. The 1-1. In the hole, base hit left field. Kreidler scores. Here comes Austin Martin. The throw to the plate is not in time. Ryan Jeffers with a 7th inning 2-run single, and the Twins have a 4-1 lead.
And how did it start? Just so simple. Infield hit, base hit up the middle by Kreidler, and then a bunt hit by Martin on a potential sacrifice situation, and then that forces Baltimore to bring the infield in. This is the danger of playing the infield in with nobody out. It opens up a ton of room for ground balls to get through. Jeffers does a great job of finding a hole. Aggressive send here by Borrego at third base with nobody out, but Austin Martin had a good lead with the infield in, knowing nobody's holding him. Got a great jump seeing that ball through, and 2 runs come across. This thing just got a lot more comfortable, but Jeffers continues to have a great season.
And part of what allows Dylan Beavers to play as deep as he does, he has a very good arm. Strong arms, all three outfield spots for the Orioles, but Austin Martin. Great ball game tonight, and that's going to be a fair question both for him and also for Shelty after the game tonight. And we'll see if Austin joins Audra here after the Twins win this ball game about maybe that conversation that happened. As Garcia came in, Martin coming up, Larnach lurking, but he got the chance for his fourth plate appearance tonight.
And sometimes it's, hey, if we get traffic here, we might put on a hit and run or look for something. That part could have been part of the conversation. I'm not sure that as a manager you would want to plant in his ear, hey, if he gets on, we're going to hit for you, because then it creates a little doubt as he's sitting there. So that was probably more, I'm guessing, strategy based as opposed to, hey, I'm going to take you out here. I'm not sure you'd want to have that thought at uncertainty. It's hard to prepare for an at-bat if you have that. But pushing the right buttons again, Shelty.
Royce 1 for 3. So Keyshawn Martin, Trevor Amicone, part of the Twins hitting staff, all chatting. Now big time green light here. Big time. Bright green.
Absolute.
Any shade of green.
You make this thing 6-1. You get a pitch you like, as well as he's been swinging the bat. I mean, just your everyday get me over 3-0 fastball at 95 with about 19 inches of run on it. It's just, why did I not want to hit yesterday? There you go.
There you go.
And that's not facing Rico Garcia.
So the barrel rate, just the quality of contact that Royce has been making has improved month by month, and up until really yesterday, that quality of contact has also coincided with a lower strikeout rate.
And just, I think, confidence, but also not missing pitches within the zone, putting himself in a good place to launch and then making contact when he does.
And that's ball 4. So 4 in a row have reached here against Garcia. Here comes Josh Bell. Here comes Craig Alvarez. And a pitching change is forthcoming here at Target Field. Twins have opened up a 3-run lead, hopefully not done. 2 on, nobody out of the 7th.
Home field advantage. A new
Let's take a look at our upcoming schedule, brought to you by Progressive. We are almost through 1 against Baltimore. 2 more to go here at Target Field as this extended homestand gets underway. Then it's a big game coming up for the Twins, of course, on an Iowa. The Field of Dreams game, a built-in day off just in case, and then we'll see the Braves coming to town before back out on the road for Minnesota, guys.
Audra, thank you. Twins have a 4-1 lead. Grant Wolfram, lefty, sinker baller, ground ball specialist. And Craig Alvarez hoping to get a ground ball to keep his team in this game. Josh Bell hoping for different outcomes. Ball 1 sails outside. Twins have 2 in, 2 on, and nobody out here in the 7th.
And this move, bringing in the lefty, also just changing things up. But Josh Bell has done a great job of, compared to last year, of his right-handed hitting numbers have been very good. So you have this matchup, and maybe the thought is, you're right, trying to get a ground ball guy who's got a really good sinker. We'll throw that 4-seam and curveball to the right-handed hitters as well.
Just to remind our audience, if you were here for the Bananas, if you catch a foul ball, it is not an out.
Which the Target Field crowd set the record, 10 caught foul balls, most ever at a Banana Ball game.
Bell hammers high and deep to left center. Back it goes, and that ball is gone. Josh Bell breaks it wide open. A 7th inning 3-run homer, and the Twins have a commanding 7-1 lead.
Just mentioned the numbers right-handed this year much better than they were last year, but has 5th home run against the lefty, and this thing just got a lot more comfortable. Great swing. A deep fly out to center earlier in the ball game, hit over 100 miles an hour. This one hit it where nobody can catch it. It was always a very satisfying feeling as a hitter. Manager on the other side brings in a different arm, tries to get the matchup he won, and then you end up jumping all over it at 106 miles an hour. Where would this team be without his presence, without his positivity in the clubhouse, without everything he's brought? It was one of those guys that Schulte said, hey, if we get a chance, let's bring him in, and that move has paid off.
Keyshaw up the middle into center. On for the 3rd time today. Still nobody out. Team leading 71. Runs batted in for Josh Bell after his 16th home run. 96. And the dugout loving it. Travis Adams. Whatever that is.
Must have been watching the banana ball over the weekend.
Brooks Lee.
I love that the strike zone is the strike zone. I know I've said this many times. I already said it tonight. Game gets to 7-1. A lot of times the strike zone would open up and start to favor the pitchers and try to get the game moving along. Never understood why the hitters got punished because the pitchers couldn't get anybody out. The zone didn't shrink when the game was close. It was strikes or still strikes. So I think just the fact that hitters can walk up there no matter what the score is, no matter what the situation is, and it's completely up to them whether they swing at strikes or not.
Long hair is the look tonight between Kramer, Bell, Martin.
You and I.
We're getting there.
Of all the pictures I saw yesterday, the first thought that popped into my head was, man, that's getting thin up top.
Talking about Bailey?
No.
Oh.
Definitely not. I'm not going to make the seven-footer mad. He gets taller, the more scared I get.
Yeah. Upcoming warning track walk with Bailey over. That man right there, my doppelganger. I'll show that tomorrow, in fact. Foul ball. So tomorrow night, part of Upanor Twins pregame.
Look
Warning
forward
track
to
walk with John Bailey over.
I love it. Everybody's got a story, and you do such a great job of helping them tell it.
Well, you hear about some family debate about Bailey's basketball skills growing up because one side of the family said it wasn't pretty. Now that man there had a different look on things, so we'll get into that a little bit. Wolfram to Lee with Keyshaw at first. Out to shallow right center and Colton Cowser. And there's the first out here in the 7th inning.
I just think I know it's how it's played in today's game, but playing the infield in with nobody else has led to this big inning, and that was always the reason in the past of why teams didn't play the infield in. I know it was a one-run game, and I guess if you don't trust your offense, then you're going to come back, but do you give up one to keep that runner at second, to get the out there, and now is it a one-run inning as opposed to this big inning that's unfolded?
Keyshaw on the move as Culpepper sends it foul. That is a fascinating point because you're right. You're almost more surprised now when the infield is playing back. You do concede. Not to say the Twins never do that, but I would say the norm is what we saw in a tight game late.
In the 7th inning, okay, I get it. Like you don't want to give up any more runs, especially when you're facing the other team's high leverage arms. Right? It's hard to come back against those bullpens. I mean, you look at this Baltimore team doing a little research before. After 6 innings, they win 90% of their games when they have the lead. So the thought is if we can keep it right here, keep it within 1 run, because once it gets to 2 and 3 runs, then it's really hard to come back against today's bullpens. So that's where it comes from. It's all about run prevention. If they hit it on the ground, we'll take our chances. But when it doesn't work and it doesn't go right, this is kind of where you end up, and then you end up with a team potentially putting up a 3 or a 4 spot.
Let me throw another angle at you about that. If Baltimore would have approached that differently, judged by the Twins' first half bullpen numbers.
Yeah, do you manage against?
You know what? You said we'll give up 1 there. That's fine. We'll play back because we believe we can rally against what has been a poor bullpen based on first half numbers. We're talking about a whole different group now, both in personnel, but also in the way that group has been throwing since July 1st.
And the confidence and everything else. The way they've been able to close out games. Yes, whether you let that play into you or not, I think we saw it in Detroit against the Tigers. There was part of that where not too often you see managers kind of chasing games late, but it does happen from time to time, and you bring in those high leverage relievers trying to keep it within 1 or 2 runs and giving yourself a chance to come back. Now with how heavily the bullpens are used, you don't see it happen all that often, but that's part of the debate of the new way that baseball is managed and played.
Keyshaw stays 3-2, and Culpepper strikes out on a sinker at 97. So 2 down, and Victor Caratini will be the 9th Twin to bat here in the 7th. Now, this ball game and really this series also potential tiebreaker implications. 2 teams hunting for right now a wild card spot. And Baltimore winning 2 out of 3 at Camden Yards to begin the year. No balls and 2 strikes on Caratini. Jeff Hoffman, he was warming up in the bullpen, and with the Twins scoring 5, he has sat down, and now Travis Adams will take over. And Dean Kramer, season high 7 innings thrown tonight. He was great. 1 run, 1 hit. Runner goes, swing and a miss, and Caratini strikes out. Inning over, but damage done for the Twins as they bat 9. It began with a Kreidler single, a Martin bunt, infield drawn in, Jeffers drove in 2, and then Josh Bell found the bullpen and left. A 3-run shot, 7-1 game.
Dr. Reed.
7-1 Twins as we look at our Toyota game summary. It's been a great night for Austin Martin, a triple shy of the cycle, but he got things going with his 3rd home run of the season and a great bounce back performance here tonight against Baltimore. Ryan Jeffers also part of a big 5-run frame just minutes ago with a nice 2-run single that would get things starting to break open. Josh Bell would take care of it with a huge home run just minutes later. And Dean Kramer, what a night, taking on his former team, razor sharp, a season-long 7 innings of work, just 1 earned run on 1 hit, but 7 punch-outs as well, guys.
Audra, thank you. And now Travis Adams takes over to see Beavers, Tavares, and Mayo. And the 0-1 on the way, and that change up. This is outside, even up the count. Adams, like many on the bullpen right now, he has found some consistency. Scoreless in 10 of his last 13 appearances.
I think getting guys into roles where they're getting comfortable, guys kind of, the bullpen that'll happen throughout the year, is kind of have that pecking order, and now you added a couple of arms at the back end, and just allows you to get some matchups you like. But so I'm sure feeling more comfortable every time he pitches on a big league mound.
Struck out 3 in Milwaukee on Saturday, striking out Andrew Vaughn, Christian Yelich, and Cooper Pratt.
7-1 lead. I know it's hard to come in and be dialed in as soon as you come in, but you have to make him put the ball in play right here.
Struck him out on a cutter down and inside. So Beavers 3 at-bats, 3 strikeouts. And 1 away here in the 8th inning.
Or not let him put the ball in play.
Some foreshadowing.
He strikes out the side here. That's what we're seeing.
That's what he's doing. That's the Adams. Actually, the wild card standings, Twins are chasing the Rangers. And Texas is playing in Anaheim tonight. We'll score bottom 1. Tigers are off. Beautiful target field. Like to be back. First time the team is back home here in August. Mayo on deck. Same time tomorrow night. We start at 6 o'clock here on Twins TV. 6:40 first pitch. Bailey Ober and Brandon Young. Good arm for the Orioles. Jeffers out to visit with Adams. Then a day game on Wednesday. Zebby Matthews and Shane Baz to wrap up the series. But here's the matchup tomorrow night. Young and the Bearded Nightmare. Wake up. There it is.
Don't sing.
The 2-2. In the air to right and deep. Keyshaw back to the wall. Jumps up and that's off the wall. Taveras rounding second base on his way to third, and he will make it with a 1-out triple here in the 8th.
Keyshaw going after this one aggressively. Changeup that he got down towards the end of the bat. Just hit right off the top of the wall and got kind of caught in between on this. Felt like he had a chance at it right until the very end. It's one of the hardest decisions you have to make as an outfielder of, do I play it off the wall or do I try and catch it in the air, and aggressively going after it.
So Taveras now at third base. Keyshaw at right field here tonight. 15th start in right. He's made 19 starts in center. Mayo hammers one to left center. Martin back, and that is off the wall. Now score Taveras, and Mayo stops at second base. This is a 7-2 game. Back-to-back hard swings, extra base hits for the Orioles here late tonight.
Solid contact, 106 off the bat. Just got a slider right down there in the bottom, but middle part of the plate.
Mayo, since the All-Star break, is batting right around 300. And some extra base power, adding to those numbers here late tonight. So he's at second, drives in his 43rd run, and now Cowser, who was struck out and flied out tonight. Softly into left. Culpepper out. Martin in. It lands. And Mayo moves up one. Kind of a hollow sound off the bat. So 3 straight hits. And some traffic here for the Orioles late tonight. Down 5.
Another pretty good changeup. I mean, weak contact. It's just a hit it where they ain't.
Well, Narvaez, his spot due up. He will not bat. Former Twin minor leaguer Christian Encarnacion Strand is going to bat in place of Narvaez. Part of a trade that went to Cincinnati years ago. Spencer Steer was in that trade as well for Tyler Mahle. So Pete Mackey out for a visit, and while the conversation takes place, we remind you to rep your Twins pride this school year with a back-to-school backpack giveaway presented by Target. Be one of the first 5,000 kids 12 and under through the gates on Sunday, August 16th to receive a Twins branded backpack. Get back to school ready and with a sharp backpack at twins.com/tickets. Hoffman is back up. And strike one from Adams. And the Twins drafted Encarnacion Strand out of Oklahoma State. 4th round in 2021. Traded in 2022. The deal that brought Tyler Mahle from Cincinnati to the Twins. '18th game with the Orioles. He's homered 3 times. And it's 1-2. Gunnar Henderson is on deck. 3 straight Orioles hits. Chop to third. Lee on the charge. Throws across for the out as Mayo scores. Cowser down to second. And it's 7-3, but 2 down.
Just more soft contact. Nothing you can do about that if you're Adams. Brooks does a nice job of coming in and making this play look easy. Seems like he's gotten more and more comfortable at third base, and especially making that play as the years gone on.
I've asked him over the years about what play he feels really confident in, and he often brings up that play coming in on a ball. Even if he has to barehand it, he just has so much confidence on that kind of play.
He spent so much time working on his defense.
Hard hit right side, but right at the second baseman Lewis. And the inning is over. 1:08 off the bat, but on the ground, Orioles scored 2, and the lead is 4.
Here.
Welcome back. Your Twins take on the Phillies in Dyersville, Iowa for MLB at Field of Dreams, presented by John Deere. You can stream the game live on Netflix this Thursday at 6:30 p.m. or listen with Chris and Danny on the Treasure Island Baseball Network All coming up on Thursday, and Taj Bradley lined up to start that game in Iowa on Thursday night. Wolfram back out. Ryan Kreidler leads off the inning. 1 for 3 tonight. 0-2. Martin on deck, and then Jeffers. Austin, by the way, is a triple shy of the cycle. There's only been one cycle ever hit at Target Field. It happened last July against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And Byron Buxton did it then. Joel Pozo is now catching. Kreidler out to left center. Deep into the ballpark for Cowser. So 1 down, and let's see if Austin Martin can make some history. A double in the first, a homer in the third, a bunt single in the seventh.
Why not?
Off the mound, into center. No cycle, but a 4-hit game.
Isn't the game just like the game just makes you shake your head sometimes? You just, and I think that's the beauty of baseball. You don't have to wait a week like you do in football. It's like you have immediate shot at redemption. You mentioned it earlier. A left-handed pitcher out there, a chance to breathe and go, all right, I get another shot at this thing. I get to go out there and do it again. You don't have to sit there and stew on it for a week or 5 days like a starting pitcher does.
He had 2 hits all month. He went 2 for 21 on the road trip. Comes back home and has a 4-hit game.
And the out was a hard hit ball in the gap as well. So 5 good at bats.
Two balls and no strikes on Jeffers. Martin takes off, and the pitch outside. Pozo's throw is not in time. Stolen base number 12 for Austin Martin.
Have a day. Lefty on the hill, going first move. The only question was, did he stay in contact with the base, because he had that stolen. And he did.
Now 3-1.
See if he gives him something to hit here. Something to drive middle in. He got it.
Royce on deck. 7-3 here in the 8th. Martin takes off for third. Line drive, right center field, deep in the gap, and that's a base hit. Jeffers to second base. Martin scores 8-3 here at Target Field on the 3rd RBI tonight from Ryan Jeffers.
And that's that 2-strike approach showing up once again from Ryan Jeffers. Took a big half, 3-1, got a pitch he liked, and then just shortened up as we've seen him do, and went with that pitch, drove it the other way. It looked like Austin Martin had this thing stolen, but a breaking ball backdoor. He's got so much trust in his hands and his ability to let that ball get deep, and then watch Austin Martin slides in. Borrego's telling him, hey, let's get going here. Fortunately, it was in the gap. He was able to score easily, but just creating things. Austin Martin going out there, that stolen base coming into play.
First career 4-hit game for Austin Martin. And he has scored twice. Make that 3 times he has scored. Big night. Near the feet of Lewis. And a challenge here from Pozo. And looked inside. Automated balls and strikes are powered by T-Mobile. 3-2.
The call is confirmed. Baltimore has 1 challenge remaining.
Royce is 1 for 3, a single, a walk, and a run. And now takes time. Baltimore in the 9th will have Alonso, Holiday, and O'Neill. Line is short, over the head of Henderson. Jeffers around third, heading home. Beavers will set, fire towards the plate, cut off near the mound. RBI single, Royce Lewis, and now 9-3 Twins.
A little hop to make sure that ball got down by Jeffers, but still able to score because it was hit towards the gap. Good swing, nice job of just pulling the hands in. Look at Jeffers there. He sees it, then he takes off, but Royce Lewis is the trail runner, plays this absolutely perfectly. He's thinking, I'm going to second base if he comes up trying to throw him out at home. He reads that low throw, he puts on the brakes, but that is exactly how you want to run the bases as the trail runner on that play. You've already got your hit. That run's going to score. You don't quit on the play. You keep playing and try to get yourself in a scoring position just like Jeffers was and just like Austin Martin did for Jeffers early in this inning.
Hey, Morty, I thought that we began to see some signs that the Twins offense was breaking out of the second half funk during the Brewers series. Yes, they dropped the series losing 2 out of 3 against a very good team, but the 8 runs they scored on Friday held to 3 both Saturday and Sunday, but it just felt like the swings were improving.
And the at-bats, I think.
Yeah.
The quality of the plate appearances, just wearing them down like the Twins did tonight. 79 pitches through 4, got into the bullpen early.
Bell to right center, and that lands. And Roy stops at second base. Josh Bell with his second hit. And the line keeps on moving here in the 8th.
As Joe Vavra used to say, a game like this, it's a hitting party and everybody's invited. He got jammed, so he'll take that as a makeup for that ball he hit over 100 miles an hour that was an out earlier in the ball game to center field. Sometimes you just got to hit one off the knuckles to get it to fall. Now Bell will get himself a pinch runner. Jackson coming off the bench.
Former Oriole, Alex Jackson. Keyshaw's had a good night offensively. He's been out 3 times, a hit, a walk, a hit by pitch, and a run. He's just been able to maintain such a high on base percentage now, dating back to early July. Well over 400.
I think what you hope to see from your young players is growth throughout the season. I think we've seen that from Keyshaw, especially on the offensive side of things. Or offense, if you prefer,
offense,
for our Canadian audience.
Tarps off. It's summer.
We'll be begging for days like this come January.
Oh, and 2 on Keyshaw. Brooks Lee on deck. And strike 3, and Keyshaw will challenge, and he will not win this one. Bottom part of the zone looked to be a strike, and it was. The Twins are out.
Pitch is a strike, the batter is out. Minnesota has no challenges remaining.
That'll be the end of the night for Wolfram.
Lefty Josh Walker warming up with the bullpen. He will come in, and Brooks Lee will bat as Craig Albertaz will make a change here in the 8th. So Wolfram will come out, and Walker is coming in. 9-3. Twins have the lead, still batting here in the 8th.
And the Blue Moon.
Now Josh Bell, his night is over. Alex Jackson now running for Josh at first base, but Bell, probably a huge 5-run 7th, adding a 3-run homer.
The right-handed at-bats, the quality of contact, the leadership, everything I mentioned earlier, such a huge part of this team.
Orioles have 2 lefties in their pen, and the Twins have seen both. Wolfram and now Josh Walker, drafted by the Mets in 2017. His 11th appearance with the Orioles this season. Brooks Lee will hit right-handed. Brooks is 2 for 4 tonight and down a strike.
I mentioned the growth of Keyshaw throughout the season, but Brooks Lee as well, being asked to change positions earlier in the year, but doesn't seem to affect his offense much. He's just got up there. He's continued to hit for power, which is a good sign. Career high in home runs. As a corner guy, you do need to hit for power, and if he's in that 20 to 25 range, with the power you get from Buxton out in center field, well, you can construct a roster if you get some power from Culpepper at short as well that he provides. You can see a path to this team continuing to get better.
Pulled high and deep to left, down the line, in the corner, hooking foul, and that ball will be foul.
He was walking on it. He knew he got it. He was just hoping it was going to stay fair. He thought about talking to it, but just a little too far out front.
Lewis at second, Jackson at first, and the 3-2 to Lee, and no swing, and that's outside. Ball 4. Royce to third base.
Brooks,
everybody moves up 1.
He thought about running on that if he did swing, if it was going to be a called check swing. Brooks kind of broke out of the box.
So now Culpepper.
It's hard not to chase the moment in a 9-3 game. Bases loaded, first time playing in front of the target field fans. And see if you can get something to drive in the left field seats.
Culpepper tonight 0 for 3 with a sac fly RBI. His third major league game. First time performing here at home in front of the fans. One and two. Culpepper's former team, the Saints, they're playing in Dyersville, Iowa tomorrow. AAA game. Saints are playing the Iowa Cubs at the Field of Dreams site. And strike three and out of challenges. Now he's out. Twins are out. So nothing Culpepper could do. Looked high, but we play on. Twins at 2. Taylor Rogers about to make some history next.
No.
Well, let's take a look at our, by default, unreal defensive play of the game. I'll tell you how good Dean Kramer was on the mound. Defense didn't have to work a whole lot behind him, but Royce does a nice job of a hard hit line drive, proper footwork, retreating, get himself a big hop, and then recording the out. He'll tell you that wasn't his hardest play of the year, but it was still a hard hit ball, and he played it correctly.
Made the play. And now Taylor Rogers takes over 9th inning. Pete Alonso leads off. And a strike. Mentioned before the break that this appearance by Rogers is notable. And that as a Twin, Taylor Rogers has now appeared in 367 games. And that has moved him into 10th on the all-time Twins list. He was tied with that guy on the left, his bullpen coach. Troy Hawkins is now out of the top 10 with Rogers appearing in this game tonight. Hawk.
And also funny that Hawk's sitting next to the guy that he was once traded for.
Right, and Jeff Hoffman. And Pete Alonso with a base hit to begin the 9th inning. He's 1 for 4. With 367 games now as a Twin for Rogers. 10th all time.
Congratulations. That is significant. I'm sure he'd like to have a clean inning for this outing, or scoreless inning.
There's Holiday 1 for 3. Line to right center, and Holiday has his second hit, and Alonso will stop at second base. And back-to-back singles to begin the Baltimore 9th.
This copyright telecast presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins. Well, Holiday getting a steady diet of off-speed breaking pitches. And a hit on a sweeper there. Or slider, as Taylor prefers to call it.
Boy, high strike. Orioles have a challenge left. O'Neill did not use it. That was high. You would know this more than me. What is it? Tyler O'Neill's dad is a Canadian weightlifting champion.
Mr. Universe, Mr. Canada. Yeah. And he is as strong as they come.
Christian Franklin on deck to bat for Beavers. And there's strike 2. Again, a pitch that looked to be upstairs. So full count to O'Neill, 0 for 3 tonight. Here's Franklin. To first, and Caratini with the flip to Rogers in time to get there before O'Neill as Alonso moves to third. Down to second, advances Holiday. So one away here in the ninth, and now Franklin coming up.
An underrated, appreciated play by this first baseman, sitting up here, retreating on that ball, going to get that big hop. You have so much more time at first base than anywhere else on the field because you have that pitcher covering for you. Top spin, that ball's going to kick once it takes that second hop. It did just that.
First look at the rookie Franklin. This is his 6th game. He is 1 for 8 to begin his major league career. Drafted by the Cubs in 2021. Jeremiah Jackson is on deck to hit for Tavares. Look out. 0-2. Win tonight, and the Twins are 2 games within 500. And will push the Orioles to 5 games under 500. The 0-2 from Rogers. Just missed. Oh, and Rogers hits Franklin with a sweeper, and that loads the bases. So Jackson coming up.
Jeffers going to take a visit. Pinch hitter coming up.
Saw Jackson in Baltimore to start the year. He had a good series, earning his spot on the opening day roster. 82 games, and he just shy of 240. Now the Orioles, they have been a good pinch hitting team. Entering this series, leading all of baseball with 28 pinch hit runs batted in. Alonso at third, Holiday at second, and Franklin at first. Towards the press box, look out, that came in hot. Look out, watch out for the computers. Let's see Bobby Nightingale Jr. on the right side of your screen from the Star Tribune.
Late dodge. Looked up from the cell phone. Oh, he'd love a pop-up on the infield right here.
2-2 on Jackson. Nearly hit him.
Yeah, that sweeper. It's almost like the ones that he gets, that extension he gets kind of out front on, moving a little more, and the ones that are, I don't know if I'd say backing up, but the ones he's kind of backdooring or getting back to the plate. That strikeout pitch for him for so long has been able start that pitch in the zone, make it look like a strike for a long time, and then get those right-handed hitters to swing over the top of it.
So Gomez warming up in the bullpen. Full count to Jackson. Hammer to left, down the line, in the corner, deep, hooking, and foul.
Look told you everything you needed to see. Sigh of relief that ball went foul.
Once again, the 3-2 from Rogers. He struck him out. It was a sweeper. So misfire with that pitch often this half inning. But threw it in a good spot here to strike out Jackson, going up with it.
And I think with 2 strikes, that one down and in, that was more with, I'm going to try and miss a barrel right here, miss a bat, going for the strikeout, and then he has the ability to land it in the zone when he needs it as well.
Kobe Mayo, 1 for 3 tonight, and a backdoor sweeper, strike 1. Bases full of Orioles here in the 9th. And now Rogers is a strike away.
Do they take a shot with that fastball up and away off the plate before they go to that back foot slider, or do they just go right to it right here, see if they can get the strikeout to end it?
Now the 0-2 from Rogers. Out to right center field and down for a base hit, and 2 runs will score. So Mayo with a 2-out 0-2 2-run single, and it's now 9-5. And this game isn't over yet. Mayo's knocked in 3 of the 5 Baltimore runs tonight.
I think just location not quite there. The field with that pitch not getting to where he wanted to.
So Colton Cowser will step in. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Runner at first goes, and no throw from Jeffers, and a breaking ball low. Takes the force out at second base. Mayo now in scoring position. The 1-1. Jammed him. Royce Lewis throws him out, and the Twins begin this homestand with a 9-5 win over the Orioles. Great night for the offense. Great night for Dean Kramer and the Twins. Behind a career-high 4-hit night from Austin Martin and a 3-run homer from Josh Bell. Give the Orioles 9-5. For Justin Morneau, Audra Martin, Corey Provis saying so long for now. Jim and Timmy standing by next. Look at our Twins postgame coming up in a moment.